What's good, man? So we back with another webinar. I swear these webinars become like so soon, like every Friday. Like these weeks are getting shorter. But the magical question, how was y'all week? Everybody had different weeks. My week was pretty trash. Now I know everybody can attest to that, but my week was definitely like not that good. Um, Yeah, AU did me so dirty. And we're gonna break down AU. Like we're really gonna go in depth with AU because I know we're gonna have another week like this where one pair is just gonna consolidate the whole week, especially New York session. Cool week. When is the next psychology webinar? We gotta just request it. Like if people want to talk about psychology, then I'll just make a whole webinar for that for next week if people want to just talk about that. But usually we just go over our trades and then people have a Q&A. I mean, we have a Q&A at the end. But if people want to have a psychology webinar, we just vote on it. Everybody don't want that. So we just vote on it. But yeah, so overall my week was pretty trash, bro. I won on Tuesday with NAS 100. Everything else was losses and they all was on all USD. So I'm gonna break down all the losses on all USD. Break down the NAS trade on Tuesday. And then if people got questions, two people already got their hands raised. So pretty sure people gonna have some questions. It was some people that had some problem weeks. It was people that had some red weeks, like me. Like my week wasn't that good. Like it was like I had a good trade off of NAS 100 Tuesday, but I mean, if I didn't win on that trade, I probably would have had like a terrible week, like over like 0 and 4. But anyway, let's just get into it. So let's talk about well, we could just do Friday to Thursday and then NAS on Tuesday. So today, obviously, I just showed the little live trading on YouTube, and this setup looked good, bro. Like I'm gonna be honest, like I did not expect this to just do that on that reverse right there. That break of the candle right there, I did not expect that, but it did push down the momentum, so I did close a little bit early, and I saved myself a few $100 before I hit my stop loss. Did get an aggressive on this trade right here. It had a minor break of structure right here. And it just made sense. I'm like, okay, like we got a minor break of structure. It didn't break this major swing high right there, but it still was valid. And it just did not work out. We went away from 20 MA, like everything was just solid, but AU was just consolidating the entire New York session. I'm gonna show you like every day of the week on AU. It really just didn't move. And another thing that irritated me about AU was that it won a crazy setup literally like right after. I looked at this setup right here and I'm just like, bro, you like why would you just do this? Like I've been waiting on a setup like this all week and this happens while I'm done on a Friday. Like this is some textbook stuff, break a structure, come back to the zone, no candles closing the zone. Like it's just stuff that we just take. This is stuff that we will win on. But this looked just the same. Like this looked just like that just didn't work out. So yeah, this was a Friday. Let's go to Thursday. Thursday was a very, very tough day because I lost twice. I didn't just lose once, I lost twice. So my first initial setup right here, this is what I took. I don't know if anybody took this trade, but this is just what I took. We was definitely counter trending because the 200 is literally right there. But I'm looking at what London did. Now, when I look at what London did, we can clearly see that this whole push right here is London right here. This is London session. So if I see any type of break of structure, or at least a minor break of structure to fill in those gaps from London, I'm going to take that. So I literally had my zone, my fault. I had my zone marked up just like this. I had my zone marked up just like this. It rejected the zone and I got in aggressive. I didn't get in like at the zone. I got in like right here, but I put my stop loss right here at the top. And it was a small pip stop loss. Like this is the thing with my losses on all USD, like most of my zones are going to be small. So like when I do lose on all USD, it's not going to be huge. My losses will look a little bit bigger on like GJ, GU. It wouldn't be like a $500 loss or an $800 loss. It may be like 1,500 or 1,200. Just depends on my stop loss. But I got in right here. I'm looking left to fill in some gaps. I did have a target right here on this demand zone right there. I'm like, okay, that's a smart target if I want to get a good risk to reward right here. And literally soon as it, let me put this up because I can't see. Soon as it rejected that zone, I was pretty confident. And then it does this. It did a fake out. It literally broke the zone. It looked it so good, and then it went right back up. And I just closed, and that was just it. Now that was trade number one that lost. Okay, now let's fast forward. to this right here. This is the second trade that I took. Okay, I ended up taking this right here. Okay. So I like this setup just because, let me fast forward when it got to the zone. I like this setup just because we had a demand zone right above it. And I say, like, usually the first zone will break through, that will become liquidity, and then it'll go up. Now, in this situation, I liked it because we broke major structure right here. We just broke a major high. Now, another thing that I feel like this setup wasn't as quality is because the EMAs is going through the middle. Like, this is clear as day, it's cutting through the middle. And I looked at the 15-minute. I looked at the 15-minute on this trade right here, and they was also tapping into a 15-minute supply as well for people that saw this in real time. So I saw this and I'm like, okay, we are tapping into a 15-minute supply, but this is also a 5-minute demand. I can at least scalp at least a 1-to-1. Like that's what I'm thinking in real time. I'm like, okay, we can scalp this 1-to-1, and then I may get out if we touch into this 15-minute supply. That was my whole plan when I was getting into this trade. I'm like, okay, I'm going to scalp this up until that point at the 15-minute, and then I'm going to just get out. We couldn't even get that. Like literally, AU was just going sideways the entire time. So I'm just going to fast forward. I mean, everybody just know what happened. It literally invalidated, then went up, and it was just like, okay, wow. And then right after, we have a winning trade. After I was done trading, it does this. Throw another setup and decides to win. And it's just like, damn, okay. This is what happens when price action is just going sideways. Everything is 50-50 at this point. No clear trend. It just wasn't really a quality setup. And I don't even know what Thursday. I don't even know what else presented itself on Thursday because I was just so focused on this. And it was just, we were just getting chopped up on AU on Thursday. Like that was just like a terrible day for me. I'm not going to lie. So I took this supply setup right here. Let me mark this up one more time. I took this supply setup right here inside that zone. And I also took, scroll down. I also took this demand zone right there. And if you really just look at it, there's just no clear trend on AU on that day. But I was expecting at least to get my 1-to-1. Didn't get that at all. And that was really just it. So that was Thursday. And obviously we just saw Friday. And let me go to NAS on Tuesday. That was the only winning trade that I took on Tuesday. I did get in prematurely right before it broke the candle. And I gave my stop loss some room just because my zone was kind of big. I really didn't like how big this zone was. A lot of people really didn't have a lot of faith in it. I don't know if anybody took this trade or not, but this was the trade that I took. So where's the, okay. So I got it on a break, but I also gave my stop loss some room just because this is a super tight stop loss. Like spreads can easily wick you out. I think a lot of people got wicked out of this trade from FTMO. I remember people saying like, bro, FTMO just pulled some bullshit or something like that. And I think they wicked y'all out on this if you was on FTMO. But I definitely gave my stop loss some breathing room just for the simple fact, bro, like this is a super tight stop loss for an indice. Like indices move crazy. So I gave myself some room. And I was just going for a 1-to-2. Like I really wasn't. No, actually, no. My fault. I went for a 1-to-5 on this trade right here. For the simple fact, we was in momentum, and I was looking for it to break these lows right here. So I was going for a 1-to-5 on this situation right here, but obviously it went a little bit further. I didn't hold all the way through, but I was expecting them to at least dip underneath here before they do something else. So this trade have a minor breaker structure. Like this didn't have a major breaker structure. If you go to the line chart, you can clearly see that we broke these two lows right here, this low right here. And let me go to the candlestick right there. And that was, no, honestly, really just this one. This is just like the only swing low that it broke. Other than that, like you would want it to break this low right here. But yeah, this just had a minor breaker structure. And that was just a pretty good win for Tuesday. Like Tuesday was a pretty good day. Like that was the only trade that I took on Tuesday. And then NAS decides to throw another demand setup right after breaking structure going the other way. And you could have took that. You could have scalped that. That was pretty good for people that took this trade. But again, if you go to the EMAs, we're going towards the 200 EMA. But it's changing the whole trend because London session was dropping. That's why I like when London drop and then New York do a break of structure to go the other way. Because usually this is like an easy sequence that you will see all the time. Like this right here, like just dropping and then New York coming in and then you start breaking structures upside. You're going to keep seeing this stuff. Like, especially just this whole sequence right here, you always going to keep seeing that. This is what this does all the time. Now, it's just hard to consider a setup that is already high and then they want to continue. Those are the risky setups. Like when I say that setups are too high or too low, that's when like you have a high chance of losing because we don't know if it's going to continue in that one direction, especially if we're going in the same direction as London session. And we got these huge gaps below or above when it comes to setups being too low or too high. Like you got to be really careful. But this sequence right here, this is the sequence that I just like the most. Like these are pretty good. Like you can clearly see these like clear as day. Like we're breaking structure, we're going the other way. London like to New York like to mirror London. So that was really it, man. Like Tuesday, 1-5 risk reward I caught on NAS 100, and then Thursday was just 2 losses on AU, and today I lost on AU. So honestly, let's go back to AU because I don't really care about this win. Honestly, I really just don't care about it. I care about what happened with AU this week because this right here, if you really just look at, I'm gonna just box in the whole trading session from New York session from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and just look at the price action from New York session when we trade. There's no just one direction. It's just consolidation. So this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. You can literally look at the price action from Wednesday. We're really not going anywhere at all. We're just going up and down. Like that's literally it. Same thing right here. If you just look at the time that we showed up, there was really just no real movement. For real. Let me take this off. This is Tuesday. And then Monday, it's the exact same thing. We just had no real just one direction push. Like absolutely not. So when you run into days like this, because I already know this is going to happen again on another pair. People trying to throw away all USD. It's going to happen again on another pair where it just the whole week is just damn near in consolidation. And if you go to I'm gonna put a horizontal line right here. Horizontal line right here. I'm going to go to the 4 hour. If I go to the 4 hour and we just look, that was the only drop. After that drop right there from Monday going into Tuesday, we consolidated for the rest of the week. And you can really see how we was like super choppy on the 5-minute chart. If you just look at this area right there, let me just take all this stuff off. Let's put this line right there. If you really just look at that price action, that's us getting chopped up on a 5-minute chart. So when people ask, okay, how do I find quality setups? The higher time frame setups that is in confluence with your 5-minute, those are going to be more quality. 5-minute setups alone is good. Those are what we're going to see every single day. But the quality setups is when you got the 15-minute lining up, when you got the 1 hour lineup, when you got the 4 hour lineup. But the 5-minute setups alone, if we have no information, like they may not be as like the best quality setups. That makes sense. So like this right here, that's just terrible, bro. Like AU just really doesn't do anything. But yeah, that's really all I have, man. So like if you had a rough week, understand like AU was probably the only pair that wasn't really good. GJ had a good trade today. Not AU, but GU had a good trade today. I don't know if EU had a good setup today, but understand like if you lost, somebody else won too. And it wasn't just about AU this week. Like it was some good setups that I just didn't take personally. Like I know EU has some good trades. I think UJ has some good trades this week, and I don't even have that on my watch list. So just take that into consideration. But all right, I'm taking questions now. I just reviewed my trades and my thoughts on AU. So I'm gonna just take questions. Well, I'm gonna read some of these questions before I put somebody on. Let me see. I think you should break down your psychology during these losses this week. I mean, honestly, like I feel like the only day that was just not quality setups was Thursday, if I'm being quite honest. Like Thursday wasn't a quality setup on AU. Now, when it comes to today, I'm gonna be honest, I really was shocked that I lost this. So it was like, damn, like this was just like really, really good. Like I like this setup. This is something that I see all the time that win, and it didn't win this time. So I mean, I'm not gonna say like my psychology is like out the window now, but it's just like, okay, like I gotta really get like my cutting losses on point. I gotta make sure that I choose the right setups because like that setup on Thursday, I feel like those just wasn't good setups. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at it yesterday. I'm like, no, this wasn't good. No, so I feel like I just gotta just do better. That's just I'm just gonna blame it on me because I'm not gonna blame it on the market. The market was just consolidating the whole week. You feel me? So I'm not gonna really just do too much. I'm just gonna just review my trades this week again, even off this webinar, and then show up Monday. So I feel like my psychology is just not like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, absolutely not. Because like we had winning trades this week. Let me see. How do you enter in a specific place on NAS 100 when the spread is 17 pips sometimes? Your spread is 17 pips? How? What? 17 pips spread. I've never seen that before. Like, what? What broker is that the prop firm? That's a huge spread, bro. Like, I don't think you understand. 17 pips is crazy, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That's like what? That's heavy manipulation. For real, for real. Yes, it's a prop firm. See, that's what I'm. See, that's crazy, bro. Like, like I wouldn't even trade NAS 100 if I was using prop firms. If they're doing that 17 pips, that's ridiculous, bro. You ever thought about doing a in-person trading training? Yeah, people have requested it in Miami, but I don't really know if I want to do that yet. But I wouldn't mind. Like, it's still all the same stuff. All right, let me get somebody else on. I don't want to waste no time. It's Friday. People got questions. My fault, y'all. Let me put this person on. This person over here.
Yo,
Hello.
what's up?
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, can you go to AU on Monday?
You said Monday?
Yeah, AU Monday.
London session or New York session?
New York.
Okay.
There's this. Let me see this setup. 1 second. There was a demand setup. Let me see. I think. Let me see where. Oh yeah, there. Can you go to the what do you say 6 in the middle of 6 and 7, like 6:30? I think there's a demand. Yeah. So my question is, the problem with this setup was, you see when the price came and touched the zone, you see how it wicked it, right?
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
but
Did you get in right there?
yeah, I took the break, but this is where I was confused. I know how to take a break of a candle, but here it was a little bit different because you see that hammer candle, the candle before it touched the box. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. So the candle after the hammer candle, it broke the hammer candle's high. Then it touched the box. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that candle that touched the zone, before it touched the zone, it broke the hammer candle's high, and then it touched the box. So
Okay.
like, do I have to wait on the new candle to close and then take the break, or do I just take it from the hammer candle once it goes back to it again? Do you know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying. So basically, this candle was green. It broke, but it never touched the zone. Then it came back to the zone and then went right back up in one candle. Correct.
Exactly. I took an entry at once it came back to the hammer candle's high. That's where
Yeah.
I took the entry.
Yeah. That's you did it right, bro. You did it right. So
Okay,
like,
yeah.
yeah, no, you did it completely right. If it breaks the candle and don't touch the zone, we're not getting in. So the fact that it broke the candle and then came back to tap the zone and then broke the candle one more time, like you got in on that second time, that's the good time to get in. So no, you did it right.
Okay, so I didn't need to wait on that candle that touched the zone to like close and then take it, right?
No, you did it right, bro.
Okay, yeah. And then I have another question. It's on GU Thursday.
See you on Thursday. Okay.
Uh, let's see. You see the demand setup at 4.
At
4. It's
four.
like a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit London session. Yeah, that one. So I know it's counter trend.
Yeah, I was
We
about to
had.
say, like, what made you do this one? Like,
Yeah. No, I didn't take the setup. I was unsure to take it since this was counter trend, but it had broken structure. Uh, you see, it broke that structure. So that's why I was thinking, maybe it's gonna go up.
nah,
Or would
bro.
it be correct to take it?
Nah, I wouldn't take this,
And
bro.
and I was thinking also because I know you said you like your demands when you don't have price action to the left of it, you know, like on the bottom, like this is the final demand.
Yeah, but this is still like we don't even know if this is the bottom. Like, yes, this broke structure right here. I see that it broke structure, but the EMAs, like if you want to get the best quality setups, always trade away from the 200 EMA. When you trade towards it, that is counter trend. If it breaks structure, like the closer you are to the 200 EMA, and if it breaks structure going towards it, that makes it better. But this right here, we're already far. Like I feel like this was just not a good setup to take. And especially the time of day, because we about to go into a whole new session. We don't even know if they're going to continue in that trend or they could do a reversal in New York session. But like me personally, I'm not going to take a setup like this. Like I don't trust it. All the EMAs are saying that we're bearish. Like we have this 5 minute break of structure. What does the 15 minute look like? What does the 1 hour look like? Like if I'm looking at this in real time, I'm like, I see this huge gap from yesterday, and I see that we just broke structure again going to the downside. Let's go to the 1 hour. I'll go to the 1 hour. We had was these rejection wicks. Let's go to the 4 hour, see what the 4 hour looking like. And that was a full bearish candle on the 4 hour before that candle. I mean, before that zone even got created. So honestly, nah, bro. It's just not a quality setup.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And I just have two more questions, if it's okay. I was gonna say, you know, when you enter aggressive and the break of candle 1-to-1 gets hit, but not your 1-to-2.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, if you enter aggressive and the break of candle of the 1-to-1 gets hit, but not your 1-to-2 on your aggressive entry, will you get out since the break of candle of the 1-to-1 got hit, even though it's you didn't make 1-to-2 from your own entry? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So like when I get in aggressive, I am looking at the 1-to-1 of the break of the candle TP2. So if the 1-to-1 get hit far as the break of the candle, like if that TP get hit and I got in aggressive on that same setup, I'm for sure closing majority off at that 1-to-1 on the break of the candle. Like if I'm lining up
Even
the aggressive entry versus the break of the candle TP, like RTPs, like I want to line that up with the break of the candle too.
Oh,
So
all
yeah.
right. So even though your 1-to-2 didn't get hit, you would get out majority of the times once the 1-to-1 gets
Yes, sir.
TP gets hit, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the last question on aggressive setups, how big does your box like pips, like how big do you want your box to be for the pips on GJ, GU, and AU? For
Well,
you to not get in a
we can't really compare AU to GJ and GU because it just it moves slower. But when it comes to like getting aggressive, like on GU or GJ, like I will prefer anything around 3 pips to like 8 pips, like to get in aggressive on GU or GJ. Now, when it comes to AU, I don't really want anything over like 5 pips to get in aggressive, just for the simple fact that's just a slower pair. That's those are like around that range. That's when I'm considering getting aggressive when it's small, when I know I can take that risk and I can cut my loss in like 2-3 pips and I can have like an extremely small loss. Now, anything over that on both of those, I'm just like, oh, maybe I should just wait. Maybe I should just wait for the break of the candle. Maybe I might get something that can have me have a smaller stop loss on the break of the candle. But yeah, that's really just it. 5 pips max, as far as me considering aggressive entries on AU, and like roughly max 8 pips on GU or GJ, something like that.
what if the zone candle that is pushing towards the zone? What if that one is let's say it's, for example, let's say that one is 12 pips,
Bro, I
but the
gotta, I
zone
gotta,
is
I gotta put somebody else on. I gotta put somebody else on. Like, I don't want to waste too much time, bro. I gotta put
all
somebody
right,
else
it's
on.
cool, it's cool, it's cool.
Just message me, bro. Just message me in the Discord. I don't want to make sure I get to everybody, bro. Like, you feel me? So
Yeah,
let me
for
just
sure, for sure.
get somebody else. All right, just message me that question though, for sure. I really just don't want to just have you on it and I'm not answering nobody else.
Hello?
Yes.
Cool, you can hear me. I'm not making pancakes this time.
What's going on?
Can you please go to GU on Wednesday?
You said you on Wednesday?
Yeah, around London session, so around 2:30-ish. I think is when the zone formed.
You said 2:30 ish.
Yeah, it's a supply zone.
Oh, right. Are you talking about this right here?
Yeah, that's the one. I just can you just I just wanted to ask because on the 15 minutes it also looks like a supply zone, and on the 5 minutes it also looks like a supply zone. So I kind of just wanted your input to see like would you count that as a 15-minute or a 5 minute? Because
Oh,
then that depends on where you would take your entry, right?
This is good. This is good. Now it don't have a major break of structure though. If you go to the 5 minute, like we just didn't break this low right here, but we did break these lows right here. Let me take this EMA off. We did break these lows right here, but we just didn't break this pivotal low right here. But this is still valid. This is the 15-minute zone, and this is the 5-minute zone. We couldn't scale down, so this is pretty good. And for my people that trade on the 1 minute, my 1 minute demons. Let me see if we can scale this down even more on the 1 minute for people that like the 1 minute chart. And yeah, it literally tapped the 1 minute. So you could have got in on a 1 minute too. I don't know if you did or not, or did it?
No, I don't trade the 1 minute, just 5.
Let me see. Did it tap? Oh, we gotta get some precision behind this. I don't think it did. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of close. I ain't about to do all that. It do look like it tapped into the 1 minute, but this was still a valid 15-minute though, for sure. Valid 15-minute setup and valid 5-minute setup for sure.
Okay, so like you could have taken it on the 5 minute, like
Yep.
nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And then GU today 405.
You said GU today?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that was what I heard. Okay.
405. So London session. I don't know 405 when the entry was, or if that's the zone.
This right here.
Are
you talking about this one? Right?
One sec. Sorry. Let me look at the chart on my end. Where is it?
Yeah, that previous setup, the person just commented, that previous setup did have a 200 cutting through the middle. So I would have been iffy too about that setup, but it had hard time frame confluence. That's the main reason why that probably won. I just want to just answer that on that previous setup. But are you talking about this setup right here, or which setup are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. No. So it formed around 225 today as well, but the entry was around 405. My bad. So the supply zone was around 205. 225, 230.
Yeah, this is 225, and it tapped.
Oh, is that the one? Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the question behind this setup?
Oh yeah. So if you look at it, it kind of goes into profit, and then it kind of goes into drawdown and reverses, and then hits TP. So question would be like, if you kind of see doing that, going back, reversing into drawdown, almost hitting stop loss. Like, because I kind of cut it. I was like, oh shit, it might just reverse on me at this point. It was 200 towards 200 EMA. And then it hit TP. So I'm kind of like, oh, was I wrong to kind of close that because it was reversing on me, or should I just
where was your stop loss? How many pips were
I took a break of candle. So on that.
So you had about like a 6 pip stop loss?
Yeah.
Okay. And you cut it because you saw these green candles pushing up, correct? I mean, that's probably the only real reason. Honestly, like, because a lot of people asks me this all the time. Like, okay, do you sometimes cut winning trades and they have to hop back in? Yes. When it comes to cutting losses, it's still a risk behind cutting losses because you may see something that may look as if it's going to lose and then it will win. Like, the market is really unpredictable at times. So I'll say, like, I probably would have tried to cut it and then I would have hopped back in and would have held for at least a 1 or 2 to cover that. But I feel like I would have did the same thing because if I see something like that, it's going to make me just instantly like, damn, okay, this is a loser, especially since the 200 EMA is at the bottom. So I would have did the same thing. So it's either you got in aggressive on this trade that's counter trend, or you had to close to try to cut the loss and hop back in. But I feel like you did the right thing just because I know I would have did the same thing too, especially since I know like I'm counter trending right now. So
yeah, okay, cool. At least I got that part right, even if it wasn't like a win. Yeah, no, that's good. Progress. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I feel like this setup in particular, like of course it looks good because it won, but it, like, say if it lost, we would have been like, well, it was counter trend. You feel what I'm saying? So it's still a probability game. It's still a probability game because I know for a fact if I see a setup like this, I like the rejection. That little wick was like pretty good. The zone is only like 4 pips. So like getting aggressive, I really wouldn't recommend it on a counter trend setup. Like that's kind of like risky if you want to do that. But the zone is only 4 pips. So do you want to just risk 4 pips and try to go for like 8 or 10 and get a 1 to 2? Like that's just something to consider. I always count the zone. Like when I mark up my zones, I'm really looking at how big the zone is, because the smaller the zone, the better. I would take a more high risk entry versus just taking a break of the candle, if that makes sense for people. But okay, let's get to the next person. Let's get right here. Do the candle closes or not closing the zone affect whether
What's
you
up,
cut it
man?
or not? What's going on? That's a great question. Most of the great setups that win will not close in the zone. Like you would just see it like wick the zone and then it just go away from it and it's a dub. Like just back test all the setups that have no candles closing in the zone, and you will see like those the ones that really take off. I mean, I've been talking about this for like last year on the webinars where I'm like, okay, you would notice like when candles close inside your zone, you can get a winning trade. But the ones that just wicks it and go away from it instantly, those the ones that be like the better winners. Like you can easily get your 1-to-1 easily. So just take that to account. People write that down, like for people that just don't know. But go ahead. What's your question, bro?
Okay, so my first question is how would you manage risk per trade wise if you were managing a 5K account or a 10K account, not funded, regular?
So we're just gonna I'll just use this example, just 10K account. So and only Forex pairs. So how I would manage it, I would probably my daily limit for as losing on a 10K account. I'm really not trying to lose anything over 500. Anything over 500 to like 300, I'm not really willing to lose. So that's like the max. Like if I go anything past that, in a day, I'm calling it a day. Period. Just because like I'm working with smaller funds. So really, well, that's only like what 5%. 500 is 5% of 10K. So really between 3 to 5% if you want to be more on an aggressive side. But if you want to be more conservative, you can do 1 to 2% per entry if you want to. But my max personally for a 10K account, I'm not trying to lose more than 500 in a day. Like absolutely not. Not for me. So,
Okay, thank you. My next question is go to AU,
you said
6
what?
September. Can you go to AU?
You said AU of 6th of September?
Exactly.
Okay.
8:30 a.m.
30 a.m. Okay.
Yeah. Do you see the demand there?
Oh, right here.
Let me see. Yeah, exactly, that one. So
Okay.
basically, on this setup won, but I didn't want to take it because I wasn't confident.
Mhm.
The 1 hour showed signs that I wanted to go up to fill those gaps above, and 5 minutes was bullish, but I still didn't trust the setup because we broke structure to reach the demand.
Mhm.
What would you have taken? Would you have taken the setup, or would you have skipped the setup like I did?
Okay, let me just scan the setup. Okay, this is a 3 pip zone. That's actually pretty good. So you could have got an aggressive risk 3 pips on AU. That's not bad at all. Let me go to the 15 minute. What is the 15 minute looking like? The 15 minutes actually going towards the 200 too. We breaking structure. We got hella gaps looking left. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see what the 1 hour is looking like. Yeah, it just look like it's correcting at this point. So if I'm looking at this on a 1 hour and we look like we already in a correction, we look like we're filling in gaps, it kind of makes sense to take this 5 minute if I'm looking at the 1 hour. We just dropped, we got a huge drop off the day before this setup, and then we're breaking structure going the other way on the 1 hour, plus the 5 minute have a setup. So this is making sense. I'm just piecing together time frames so I can just see, okay, what is this is going to make, like, why would this make this go up in a sense? So we already dropped off, and I'm looking at this drop right here. We look like we're on a downtrend, but since we're on a downtrend, this is considered a swing low. So they got to correct eventually. So honestly, I feel like you should have just took a chance on this, bro. Like the only thing that made you not take this is because of what again?
Because the 1 hour was showing signs that he wanted to go up and fill those big gaps,
You said
and 5 minutes was bullish.
okay, you said the 1 hour was showing signs that it wanted to go up.
Yeah, to fill those big gaps.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. Like I'm looking at this and I'm just seeing, okay, we made a equal low. This is a reversal pattern. We know this is liquidity.
Oh, you
Underneath
said
this-
what made me not want to take it? It was because it broke structure to reach the demand.
it broke structure to reach the demand. Oh, you talking about when it break multiple structures? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so when it do break multiple structure, that decreases the chances of it winning. That does not mean it's going to automatically lose. Everything about trading is a probability game. Like we got to just put that into our head. Even when a setup is too high, too low, you may think it's too low, and then that too low setup will win. Same thing with a setup that's too high. We done had London session go up for too long, and then New York session pull another demand, and then it wins. And people are like, no, I thought that setup was too high. Trading is a probability game. It's all about what you're willing to risk. So at the end of the day, yes, this did break multiple structures to reach your zone, but it still won. Like, is there an explanation behind that? No, this is just a demand setup that won. And it honestly, if I'm looking at it, it did break structure right here. It broke that low and broke that low, tapped the zone, gave us a reversal pattern candle at the zone, which I kind of like this too, reversal pattern. And then it just went up later in the day. So, yes, I feel like if you didn't make money on this and you just passed up on it, cool, bro. Because like that is something that we will consider for us taking demand setups or supply setups. When we're breaking multiple structures reaching our zone, those usually be the losers. So I wouldn't beat myself up about it, like if you didn't make no money on this, but don't be afraid though. Like that's the thing. Like accept the risk on any sub that you take. Just because this one, don't just be mad about it. Like you felt like this wasn't going to hold at all. I'm looking at the 1 hour, and now if I'm looking at the 1 hour, it looked like it's ready to correct. But the 5 minute was breaking structures to reach your demand zone. So I get why you didn't take it though. But again,
Okay, so you would have not taken it.
Honestly, I don't like where the 200 EMA is located in this situation. We did get a great reversal pattern, and the zone is only 3 pips. So I have to just see what would happen in real time, because I'm kind of on both sides of the fence, because a higher time frame in this situation is saying that it want to go up, but the 5 minute is breaking structures to the downside to reach my zone. So it's like a 50-50 with this setup. So I can't really give you a solid answer. But I will say that risking 2 pips, or I mean, not 2 pips, risking 3 pips on this setup in particular, I feel like I would be willing to lose that versus a break of the candle, if that makes sense. Because my stop loss is super small. I can cut that in like 1.5 pip, and it can be like a break-even trade for me if this do decide to lose. So yeah, this is kind of like this is a tough setup right here, because the higher time frame saying want to reverse, but the 5 minutes breaking structure to the downside to reach your zone. So yeah, this was like a little risky setup, and this is Wednesday too, so I know I probably wouldn't even take this setup, but yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, on a liquidity setup, do you hold for 1-to-1 or 1-to-2?
1-to-1 first. 1-to-1 first.
Okay, on majority of the times, like, do you hold more to 1-to-1 or 1-to-2? You like
On liquidity grabs?
Yeah.
No, it's always 1-to-1 first on liquidity grabs.
Okay, and then my final question is, what's it called? What would be your fixed lot size on a 50K account funded?
50K account funded. What are you trading? Are you trading forex? Are you trading indices? Like, what are you trading?
Forex.
A fixed lot size on a 50K account, because I don't want you to play nothing too crazy, because your stop loss is going to vary. But honestly, I would probably say no more than probably 15 lots, maybe no more than 10 lots in between there. No more than 10 to 15 lots with a 50K
Okay,
account.
and non-funded then?
You said no? No, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Like when you risk your account in fixed lot size, it's still the same thing, bro. It's still the same.
I was just double checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the answers, dude. You're amazing. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like, but when it comes to prop firms, man, I'll be trying to tell people, like, it can get very like tough using fixed lot sizes with prop firms, because they go by percentages. So I'll tell people to use percentages when it comes to these prop firms, because like at the end of the day, it's not your money. You want to be very careful with how you risk their account. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Okay, we got Paris right here. Who is okay? So new voice right here, new face right here.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sir. What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, man? I got just 2 questions. One of them is kind of, I don't want to say weird, but it's kind of difficult. So let me just get on with it. It's Tuesday, or this past Tuesday, the 5th, on Nas.
You said Tuesday on
Yeah.
NAS. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Tuesday on NAS. Okay. Let's go to it. New York session.
Yes, New York session. Now, I want to go to 8 a.m., not necessarily to the start of the open. So this supply actually formed. This is the one that you took, by the way.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, that's the one that you won on. And I was going to ask you the first question with that one. Before you took that, did you look at the VIX to see what it was doing before you took that setup?
No, I didn't look at the VIX. What did the VIX look like?
Well, it was there was a small liquidity grab at 6:25 a.m. on the VIX, and it created a demand on that. But then I noticed I looked on the VIX and it created a supply zone. So I was like, okay, well, they're kind of corresponding to each other a little bit. And
Okay.
basically the reason why I went to this question is because on to the left, there's actually another supply zone right there. Let me go to that candle. It is the 320 candle. So if you go a little bit over to the left at 320, you see that other drop where it broke structure?
Oh,
To
right.
the left there.
Right here.
There's
Right
a
here.
gap, right? Yeah. That candle, you see there's a gap between that bullish candle and then that drop. So
Mhm.
it's still in the same zone. The
Mhm.
thing is, I went to the VIX and I did not see a breaker structure there, but I did see a breaker structure on the one that you took.
Mhm.
So I thought that was kind of weird, and I thought that you actually saw that on the VIX anyway, because it did not create a demand on that first zone, but it did create a demand on the supply that you took. So
Mhm.
it corresponded to more to the it correlated to the trade that you took, but
Right.
not to the earlier trade where it actually broke structure. So
Right.
I was wondering, like, do you think that, you know, well, I know you said you didn't take it, so is that the reason why the 7 a.m. supply was a more valid setup, the one that you took?
I wouldn't say it was more valid. It just the VIX, when the VIX is going, like say if this supply setup and the VIX had a demand setup, that's just confluence to take the trade. Since you said that this setup in particular did not look like the inverse of the VIX, then that's
Yeah.
just not confluence on that setup. So this one did have confluence, that one didn't have confluence. So I would just say, like, this is the same thing as far as Euro USD and DXY. When EU got a demand, DXY have a supply. When the VIX have a supply, NAS should have a demand. If it don't, that's just not confluence. So I just feel like that probably helped this setup win because they was both invertedly looking like similar, because you said it was a liquidity grab happening on the VIX at this supply right here. So it would just correlate at the same time. But honestly, this is also like London session too. So like if New York session is going to throw a setup, most of the time it should look the opposite of VIX during New York session. Like I wouldn't expect the VIX to look exactly the same. I mean the exact opposite during London session, because it's just different banks moving at that time. So
And I got a second question. This one is going to be real quick. It's actually the one that you took. It's actually the next day on Wednesday on Nas again.
oh, Wednesday on Nas. Okay, let me.
Yes.
So
This is I don't. You did not take this one, but this is one. This is one that I did take. It actually occurred at the setup occurred at 7:40 a.m.
okay, yeah, I think a lot of people took this setup right here. I remember you said this setup right here.
Yeah,
People
and
took this trade.
the reason why I bring that up is because there's actually a 1 hour supply that was created at 2 a.m. that morning. So if you were to go to the 1 hour and you could actually see it on there, it's at 2 a.m. That big,
Yeah, I see
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
right here.
So
Okay.
it was inside of there, and the reason why I took this trade is because of that. Now, what ended up happening is that I had an entry on the touch at 8:55. And what eventually happened is that it spiked up, stopped me out, or I got out before it spiked me out. And then once 9:30 hit, it went in my direction. That big candle right there, that's the open. It went right in the direction, and obviously I would have easily won that trade. So
Mhm.
it's like, was my thinking right in taking this trade? Because everything, in my opinion, everything lined up the way it was supposed to do. It's just the 835 candle when it broke structure down there.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, that's a break of structure to me. So was that enough to justify taking this trade?
This setup happened at the New York Stock Exchange Open. So we got to understand like the risk behind trading the open. So it never touched right here on this zone, but it touched up in this area right here around 920. If you stretch the candles out or did it touch right there?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Did it touch right here or did it touch on? Can't
I
really
mean,
tell.
I have it touching at well, let me go back to it. I have it touching at
At 855.
yeah, I have it touching at 855.
Yeah, I think it touched at 855.
Because
Um,
that's the one I actually got into the trade
mhm. Oh
at
yeah, it
9
touched
a.m. because that very next 9 a.m. candle, you see it coming down and
Mhm.
it got me into the trade. Now, when I had to get out, it was at the 920 candle because it
Mhm.
just, my stop was up there. So I just got out early. And
Mhm.
then, at the open, it just went in the direction it sold off anyway. So I'm like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, when it spikes down at 835, I thought that was enough of a break of structure to justify that trade, unless I'm thinking about it wrong.
When trading NAS 100, when we take pre-market setups, like that's not the real move. The real move is happening after New York Stock Exchange opens. So this is the open. That candle right there, that's the open.
Yeah,
Anything before 930, that's just the pre-market movement, which is not the real like direction. So like when we wait for the 830 news with Forex pairs, after the news drop, now we know what the direction is. So anything that we trade before 930 with NAS 100, that's not the initial move. Like that's not where they want to go. So you can see like they consolidated the whole time. Okay, took the break, they played around a little bit, and then they went up into the zone one more time, and then it dropped and started doing like craziness. So honestly, trading the pre-market is risky in my opinion. Sometimes we win before 930 and then sometimes we lose before 930. But when we do have a setup that line up with 930, those are the most riskiest setups. And they just like honestly, I don't really like this price action on this setup in particular. Like we're not really breaking clear structure right here. We just got a bunch of just liquidity and just like consolidation movement the whole time. So my advice on taking setups as pre-market, you need to be hitting TP before it gets even close to 930, because once it get close to 930, anything can happen at 930. Like it can really just go either way. If you got an aggressive, you didn't lose, but if you did take the break of the candle, like you can clearly see like it's just choppiness until we get this crazy spike. And then after that, it does this and then drops again. Like literally just consolidation throughout the whole entire thing. So yeah, this setup right here on a Wednesday, and I remember people tagging me on this setup. This setup in particular, it's just a lot of consolidation the whole time, and then they finally decide to choose a direction. So I mean, honestly, I just don't like this setup at all. Like, and it's Wednesday too, so I'm not going to trade it. But yeah, this setup in particular, it had 1 hour confluence though, but this consolidation is just not good, bro, at all.
okay. I appreciate you taking my question.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go to the next person right here. Yeah, bro. Back to the other guy that asked me for the risk management, bro. Please risk your account of percentages when it comes to prop firms, bro. Please, bro. Because if you try to do what I'm doing with the fixed lot sizes, I don't want you to lose your account, bro. So please do percentages, bro. That's my advice on that. Okay, who we got next? We got Max right here.
Yo,
Hello.
what's good, man?
What's going on?
Yo, can you go to AU on Wednesday?
Yeah, on Wednesday, okay. Yeah, Friday, Thursday, okay, Wednesday, okay.
Yeah, I took like a supply, like starting from like 635. I just wanted to know what you thought about it.
635. Let me see. Right, oh, right here.
Yeah.
You took this one like that. You drew it out like that.
Nah, not that. Like draw the box a little lower.
Oh,
Nah. Like right under it. Yeah. There, now make the box smaller.
you
Yeah.
you took that.
Yeah.
Honestly, not gonna take that at all. I'm gonna be honest. The only time I would use 2 candles is if both candles are extremely small. So for example, something like this, hypothetically, like this is just a perfect example of something that I would use 2 candles instead of 1. Well, no, not that one, because no. Let me see. Let me try to find one real quick. But I don't honestly that one. No, I wouldn't do 2 candles with that one. They gotta be like extremely small, like 2 dojis right next to each other. I would use 2. Let me see if I can find one that have like multiple candles. It's like okay, something like this. Like you see how that's just a small doji, and then that other candle was small too. Like I would use something like that instead of like we got a long wick doji, and then the next candle is like a full body bullish candle. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm only gonna do something like this, or even something like this. You see like this candle all the way up here, where it's 2 dojis in there. I draw it out with two candles like that. Something like this. It gotta be like damn near identical, like right there next to each other. I don't like to have my zones too big because I feel like I'm forcing the setup. And of course, that setup did win, though. I'm not going to like discredit it. It did win, but like just be careful when you're trying to use 2 candles on supply and demand setups, because we don't want to just force setups and the setup is really not like clear, like if that makes sense. So, yeah.
I got one question. Does it matter on how big, like, is there a limit on how big the gaps have to be regarding like a high probability setup?
Nope. The size of the gap don't matter. We just wanted to fill to tap the zone completely 100%. So it don't matter how big the gap is. They gotta just come into our zone. So no, it don't matter.
Okay, all right. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Somebody else on. Do we use 2 candles for the zone? I prefer 1, but it just depends if both of the candles are right next to each other and they both have gaps on them. I would include 2. But they got to be small though, like really small. I'm not doing 2 candles on this right here. Absolutely not. I would have drew mines out just like this, just like that. So, hello.
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Hey, so first I wanted to say shout out to the call in the morning. I'm there every day. I appreciate Abdul, Sean, Pato for guiding everybody really that shows up.
Yes,
just through the thought process because of the psychology. I kind of feel like I'm a psychology like psychopath when I'm trading, when I'm not trading everything. So shout out to GU this morning at 8:25 because that was a pay. But also I wanted to just question you when you kind of like back in the day right before you became consistently profitable. I'm curious on what helped you stop over trading.
So I get this all the time. I get this question all the time. Is people having a hard time over trading? Like what's really going on? Like, is it like the addiction?
I think, you know, I'm obsessed with this and I'm gonna make it someday, but I feel like maybe us being in the call, watching, you know, being in the chat, just being overstimulated by trading makes us want to keep trading. So I wanted to question you on when you first were consistently profitable, like what stopped you after if you won?
We can talk about it. No, that's a great question, but I feel like everybody's gonna go through that obsession phase. They're gonna keep checking their phone at work. They're gonna keep seeing if it's a setup. Like I used to do that all the time. Like the addiction is not gonna stop until you start getting consistent results. Like I'm not gonna lie. Once you start seeing like, okay, I can actually get consistent results and not be on the charts as much, that's when you're going to tone it down. Because I was intense studying every single day, get off of work studying, trading New York session when I was at my job. After New York session done, I'm going to work looking at my phone. When I get off work weekend, I'm just every day is Forex. Like I get it, but the addiction will definitely slow down after a while. Like a few years in, like you're gonna like slow down. Like, okay, I don't need to just go as hard as I used to. The over trading aspect though, the main reason why I'm like so disciplined, like if I lose a trade, I'm done. If I win, I'm done. Is because like I've seen when I do over trade, when I do be taking like 3 to 4 setups, like I'm giving back profits. Like it's really just that. Like I'm looking at my MT4, I'm blue. I'll take a trade on Euro USD back when I was trading Euro USD or I was trading GBP CAD. I'm taking the Fibonacci setups and then I'm taking more setups and I'm giving it right back. That made me stop over trading. Like I'm tired of I'm making money and then I'm giving it right back to the market. So That took time, bro. Like, I'm not gonna act like it just took like a year for me to just be super disciplined and stop over trading. Like, it literally takes time for you to really be like, okay, I gotta stop. And if I don't stop, I'm not gonna be profitable. So it's just like, okay, when you hear that, like, I'm not gonna be profitable, like, you have to really like really get serious with yourself. So the over trading is going to slow down when you really get tired of losing money, you're tired of giving back profits, but you got to be real with yourself and see like, okay, I gotta be under control. I gotta take my 1 to 2 setups, or if my trading plan say 2 to 3 setups, stick to it. And is that working for the next three? Not even the next three, like the past 3 months. Is the past 3 months since I've been using 2-3 trades a day, and I only say your trading plan, you don't trade on Fridays, you trade Monday through Thursday, 2 to 3 setups a day. And has that worked for the last 3 months? If it haven't worked, maybe you should tweak something and just see, okay, what is working for you? After you see something that's working for you, you just stick to it. But again, the discipline and over time, you lose that addiction of constantly trading and just getting addicted to always trying to like learn something. Like, it's going to slow down once you get further in your journey, bro. But I feel like everybody going to have that addiction though. Everybody going to be obsessed with trading. It's just part of it.
I didn't know if it was different for you when you first started between taking a first winning trade or a first losing trade. You know, and if you felt the need to keep trading after a win because you were overconfident, right? It's also like a psychology. Or if you wanted a revenge trade when you first started, because I'm sure that that's not the same for you now.
No, I feel like I was more revenge trading when I did lose. So it was more so like I'm over trading because I just lost. If I won, I was like, I'm so quick to just end my day when I win. That was happening when I was trading Fibonacci. When I used to win and like I get my $200 a day and I'm like, okay, I can just go to work now. I feel good. I like winning more than trying to be greedy. So like the revenge trading only was, not the revenge trading. The over trading was basically based around revenge trading. Once I lost that first trade, okay, let me go to the next one. It got to be another winning trade. Then I lose the second one. And it's like, okay, damn. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But when I was trading Fibonacci and I was taking my $200 a day, once I got that first $200, I'm done. I'm going to work. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it's really just more so me losing that made me cause me to overtrade. And then it's like, okay, I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have a lot of reps. So it's like, okay, experience, okay, overtrading. Like, it was just like a sequence of like, okay, I got to get my act together. Like, if that makes sense, you know, but
a sequence of gambling.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. Because like when everybody comes into trading, they feel like this is like gambling, but it's really so much of self-control and managing your risk. Because once you got a strategy that works, it's all about being smart about the steps you take, manage your risk. And that's really it. But the risk management aspect, people don't really understand that. Like, it's just, okay, let me just put in some lot sizes and hopefully my account can handle it. Like, nah, bro, like it's just it's not like that. So
okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. I feel like I went on a little psychology rant right there, but I feel like that was needed though. We got right here. We got Don right here.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What's good?
So I was so I'm trying to look at AU September yesterday at 8. Demand was made.
Yes. You said yesterday at 8 a.m.
Yeah, 8 a.m. 8:35 demand was made. So like, yeah, right there. I had put a trade on, you feel me, seeing the breaker structure, like the high was broken right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like confident, you feel me? I was confident in my trade and you know, I had advisors, everything was right, and I still lost.
I took the same setup, bro. I took the same setup, bro. I lost too. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so this setup right here on AU, I took it. I got in aggressive, actually. I got in aggressive. I was aiming for more because I lost previously before this setup. But honestly, this day in particular, the trend wasn't strong at all. Look at the price action. Like, we're breaking structure to the upside. Now we're going back down. We're breaking structure to the downside. Now we're going back up. This is consolidation. We will lose the most trading supply and demand in this market condition. This market condition is not going to bless us. This is just not it. Like, taking setups like this was just not quality. That's why when I reviewed my trades before I even got on this webinar, I'm like, dog, this wasn't a quality setup. Like, I'm really just looking at it. I'm like, bro, like, this not quality. The 200 cutting through the middle. We got no higher time frame confluence. We taking it just because we are, like, I guess, in no man's land. Like, I do like these type of demand setups because we have no price action below us. But it's still not quality, though, because the 200 cutting right through the middle in a higher time frame is saying nothing about us going up. So this was just a 5-minute setup that wasn't quality. Like I can really say this setup was not quality on Thursday, especially this one in particular. But yeah, I lost on this too, bro. No cap.
For sure. All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. All right. So I feel like this was like a really, really needed webinar. I'm glad people can like see the real, because I think the last time I had like a rough, like damn near like the whole week was losing was that week when I lost 5K. I don't know if people been here that long, but yeah, that was still a rough week. That was one of my roughest weeks when I lost 5K. I went on like a five losing week. Like I think I lost like 5 trades in a row. That was a rough period. So when you see stuff like this and you understand that this can happen to anybody, because I'm still following my rules. Now, I can only say that Thursday was probably the poor quality setup overall, but everything else I had a lot of confidence in. This setup in particular, like EMA's come through the middle. Why are we taking this? We still taking it because it rejected the zone nicely. We got a breaking a candle. The zone is pretty small. But at the end of the day, this is just not a trending day. Remember, supply and demand work the best when we're trending. That's why indices move way better with supply and demand, because it's usually going up or it's usually just going straight down. It's not going sideways like that. So that's really all I have to say on this webinar. We'll have this uploaded tomorrow. Let's look at the news. Let's see what the news talking about for next week. I'm definitely going to give myself some homework for sure, bro. So this week I'm gonna, let me think, what type of homework? Let me go back on the charts before I look at this, because I feel like I need to give myself some homework, because this was just like a shitty week for me. A lot of people had like good weeks. Me personally, I just didn't have a good week. So I feel like I'm going to just really back test stuff that just don't close into the zone. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back test all supply and demand stuff that never closes in the zone. And I'm just going to see how far do they go. That's going to be my homework for this week for myself. I'm just going to just back test 15-minute setups, 5-minute setups, and just see, okay, when they don't close into the zone, how far do they go when they do give us the break of the candle? That's what I'm going to give myself homework. Now, let's go to this next week. Let's see what next week is going to look like. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay, so next week we have no news on Monday. We have no news on Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday, no news. Wednesday, there is news, and it's CPI news. Okay, CPI is next week. We already know CPI is as worse as NFP sometimes. So Thursday is going to be a very interesting day. I'm going to say this one more time. Thursday is going to be a very interesting day in the market for the simple fact it's hella news. We got news at 8:30. It's so much news dropping at 8:30. So probably should wait until after news drop, or we can probably scalp something before 8:30. It just really depends on what's being given to us. Actually, I'm glad that I'm thinking about this right now. A lot of sets was winning before 7:30 and after 11 o'clock. Do not break your trading plan. If your trading plan is showing up at 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and you see a winning trade happening at 7 o'clock, don't feel bad about it. That's not your trading plan. Now, if you are trading around 6:30 and you see a setup that happened before 7:30 and that's a part of your trading plan, kudos to you. But like, if you see a setup that's winning, as soon as you wake up, like it was like one of these days this week, I think it was like Tuesday or Thursday, where I came to the market and it was already a winning trade, just hitting TP. I'm like, damn, like this is crazy. I'm still not going to hop in though. Like I'm still going to just be disciplined and be like, okay, let me just wait until I see my setup happen during my time. But yeah, bro, like, so overall, like this week, next week is probably going to be, Thursday is going to have a lot of news, and Friday have a lot. We got news at 8:30 and 10 o'clock on Friday. So really Thursday and Friday is going to be a high impact news. So we just got to be careful with that. But yeah, overall, this week was pretty terrible for me. I can't really speak for anybody else, but we got to just do better, like just straight up. So Monday, we back at it. Keep taking our setups, keep turning the homework. I'm going to create homework for myself, because that shitty AU setup on Thursday was just like, why? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I got, man. Message me some questions over the weekend if you have some. If not, we back at it Monday. Let's get it. Out of here.